In the beginning of this year, I have discovered this place during my walks. I stood there in silence, waiting to be noticed. This place has a story, and I told the story in my own way. I began to paint it with one intention, but the painting had another plan. My idea was a warm yellow-brown chapel, trees melting into the walls, a quiet winter memory. But as I painted, something darker revealed itself. This is the final painting. A few weeks ago, the bricked-up windows were opened, and behind them I found a small side room covered in upside-down crosses. See that I'm behind the bars. I'm on the street, and look at that. Can you see this? This place was first mentioned in 1456. In this valley, about 20 mills once worked together to supply Paris with flour. The oldest parts of the building date back to the 17th century. In 1862, the Trumeau brothers bought the property. They modernized it, added houses, and installed a large wheel to increase production. By the early 20th century, milling activity had ended, and the site was transformed into a residence. In 1902, the architect Eugène-Émile Esnault-Palterie rebuilt it in a neo-gothic fantasy style, even adding flying buttresses, giving the mill the look of a chapel. At that time it also welcomed famous visitors, including Giacomo Puccini, the composer of Madama Butterfly. The golden years ended with World War I. In 1926, the estate was sold to Sophie Mikhailova Zernov, a Russian doctor who transformed it into an orphanage for children fleeing from the East. In 1957, an Orthodox chapel was built, and few years after, the Russian-born artist Fyodor Royankovsky decorated the interior of the tower. It was renewed both for his children's books illustrations and for his more daring erotic art. Unfortunately, the site later suffered from neglect and legal disputes. In 2016, the association managing it was forced to leave. 2 years later, in 2018, the city became the owner, and the mill was listed as a historic monument of France. The long-term project is to transform the mill into a restaurant with 26 guest rooms, ensuring that this remarkable place will continue. Restoration work has recently begun by opening up bricked windows. Hidden rooms were revealed. and one of it with upside-down crosses painted on the walls. This is a chapel of anxiety. So tell me, would you spend a night there?